Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin news video, recapping the events of the world of Superman for the week June 12th to June 18th, 2015. Our top news stories this week included: a new 2-minute Supergirl trailer is posted online, DC Comics announces their September solicitations, and the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois is over for another year. Let's check out these news reports and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, Collider.com caught up for a video chat with Jesse Eisenberg recently and asked him about why the film is titled Batman v Superman instead of Batman vs Superman, and while also getting confirmation that he will be in attendance at Comic-Con to promote the movie.
Coming to Comic-Con next month?
I'll be there.
Yes.
You're coming?
Have you ever been before?
I went a few years ago, yeah.
Oh, it's probably going to be a big difference going for a movie like Batman vs Superman.
I think we go in and out. I think, I'm there for the hour that I'm on the stage, yeah.
That'll be very exciting.
HeroicHollywood.com claimed to have spoiler details regarding the cameo appearances by The Flash and Aquaman in Batman v Superman. With Zack Snyder having released an image of Jason Momoa as Aquaman for the film, we know that Aquaman makes some kind of an appearance in the movie, although with Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman already in the film in a major way, what role will Aquaman and Ezra Miller's Flash play? If you want to check out the spoiler details, head to our website and read the news item dated June 16th. Machinima released the third and final episode of the first series of Justice League Gods and Monsters Chronicles online via YouTube. In the episode titled Big, Wonder Woman, who is actually the new god Becca the Warrior Goddess, must take on a horde of Cobra soldiers to save her friend with benefits, Steve Trevor. The Justice League Gods and Monsters Chronicles series is based on Justice League Gods and Monsters, a home video release from Warner set to hit stores on July 28th. On Friday at the Iowa State Historical Museum, Superman Returns actor Brandon Routh was presented with an official proclamation declaring June 12th to be forever known as Brandon Routh Day in Iowa. After the presentation, Brandon spoke about his life in Iowa, his career in Hollywood, and what it was like going from playing Superman to playing the Atom. He said, "I never thought I would be a superhero, maybe a villain. Once I did Superman, it was like, what other superhero would I play? I don't think I would have taken the role of the Atom if the producers hadn't said they wanted Ray Palmer, the Atom, to be the humour, to lighten up the show a little bit." In TV news, a 2-minute trailer for Supergirl has been showing on Canada's Global TV and posted online via YouTube. It appears to be similar, if not exactly the same, as a 2-minute trailer which was posted online and then removed a few weeks ago. There is footage in this 2-minute trailer that was not seen in the 6-minute extended trailer released by CBS. Don't forget, the Supergirl TV pilot will premiere on CBS on Monday, October 26th. Last month, CBS released that extended trailer for Supergirl at the network's Upfront event, and IGN.com caught up with the show's stars Melissa Benoist, Kyler Lee and Mehcad Brooks to find out their thoughts on their characters and the show in general. As for why Melissa believes Kara held back on using her superpowers for so long, she said, "It's been 24 years and she comes to Earth and Superman, who was a baby then, is now grown and is Earth's hero, and she kind of feels like she won't live up to what he has created for himself." ComicBookResources.com caught up with Dean Cain for an interview and asked him all about his continued involvement in the world of Superman and how he feels about playing the role of Fred Danvers in the upcoming Supergirl TV series. He said, "I love being part of the whole Superman lore. If I get a chance to do anything in films or shows, I embrace it. I'll do it as often as I can. I'm really looking forward to doing some fun stuff on Supergirl." In comic book news, a Daily Planet extra dated June 17th is being circulated at various comic book stores this week, revealing Lois Lane's complete article titled "Superman's Secret Identity Revealed," in which she tells the world that Clark Kent and Superman are one and the same. You can read the complete text at our website now. DC Comics announced that it will celebrate Green Lantern's 75th anniversary with variant covers across most of its comic books in September. The Superman-related titles that will feature Green Lantern variant covers in September include Action Comics number 44, Batman Superman 24, Justice League 44, JLA number 4, Superman number 44, and Superman Wonder Woman number 21. DC Comics released their full September 2015 solicitations later in the week, and we highlighted for you all the Superman-related comics listed. Of special note was Action Comics number 44, in which the epic Truth arc reaches its finale as Superman makes some brutal choices and discovers the source of the Shadow Warriors. and Justice League number 44, which features Darkseid vs Anti-Monitor, a corrupted Superman vs Lex Luthor, Mirror Black vs Grail. This chapter of Darkseid War has it all, plus an ending that will change the Justice League forever. Check out the other Superman-related titles in the September 2015 solicitations at our website now. Superman's transformation into a near-powerless, t-shirt and jeans-wearing, buzz-cut hairstyle, motorbike-riding superhero with no secret identity has raised a lot of eyebrows amongst DC Comics fans and readers. This week, the Wall Street Journal weighed in on the subject with an article examining the Man of Steel's makeover. An interesting quote from John Romita Jr. reads, "You can't turn him into a badass the way the Dark Knight is. You can't do it, so we did it anyway. What the hell?" In a blog entry on his own personal website, Superman writer Gene Luen Yang ponders the reasons why Superman has been known as the Man of Tomorrow and explores whether or not that moniker still fits today. He asks, will Superman's most timeless character traits, his selflessness, his grit, his compassion for the underdog, survive such a drastic change to his status quo? Read the complete blog entry at geneyang.com. In another entry on his personal blog, Gene Luen Yang gives us an insight into the process behind the work that goes into creating a comic book, specifically a page from issue number 41 of Superman, showing us the script, pencils and inks, as well as finished colours on one particular panel. Superman number 41 will be released on June 24th. Our own T.A. Hewitt attended the special edition convention in New York last week and grabbed a few minutes with Greg Pak to ask him on video about the Truth arc taking place across the main Superman comic books.
But this, the upcoming storyline in Truth kind of takes that to the next level. Like, how does Superman stay true to his to the things he grew up learning? How does Clark Kent do what he thinks he's supposed to do and help people when he's lost most of his powers, and when his identity has been revealed to the whole world?
Writer Brian Hitch spoke with DC All Access to introduce us to his first issue of the new Justice League of America comic book title, including a character from Superman's past.
The story's a little bit different. There's a character from Superman's past that anybody who's read comics for as long as I have will have heard of this character, but nobody has ever seen him before. It's a character often mentioned in, especially in the Kurt Swan run of Superman back in the 60s, 70s and 80s. But what I wanted to do is introduce an antagonist-protagonist character who puts them in an unusual position. A character that, as readers, we could find ourselves certainly agreeing with a lot, in fact, because it isn't such a clear-cut good guys fight bad guys by hitting him an awful lot or blasting him with a power beam or a lasso. This isn't anywhere near as clear-cut as that, though it's still huge scale, world-spanning, actually bigger than world-spanning. It's enormous stuff with the typical widescreen storytelling style I'm known for. So anybody who thinks it's going to be, 7 or 8 issues of people talking to each other are going to be disappointed.
Comic books we reviewed this week included Batman Superman number 21, which was reviewed by Alyssa Gossage, who gave it a 2 out of 5, saying, "I hate to say this, but I hated this issue. It's not Superman's fault that the powers that be want him to be Batman." James Lance reviewed Earth 2 Society number 1, giving it a 4 out of 5, saying, "In spite of my problem with the lack of reader friendliness in this book, the opening issue has promise as it gives readers a solid, fast-paced story that's very well written." Injustice Year 4 Chapter 6 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who said, "There's very little to go on for this installment. In actuality, there's nothing to go on," and he rated this chapter a 2 out of 5. Superman comics available this week from June 17th include Injustice Year 4 Chapter 7 digital comic has been available since June 16th. Doomed number 1, which is available in a variant cover. Infinite Crisis Fight for the Multiverse number 12 print edition. Justice League of America number 1, which is available in a variant Joker cover, a Batman cover, a Flash cover, an Aquaman cover, a Superman cover, a Green Lantern cover, a Cyborg cover, a Wonder Woman cover, and a 7-panel fold-out variant cover. And Superman Wonder Woman number 18, which is also available in a variant Joker cover. Let your dad know how super you think he is with a special Super Dad t-shirt, coffee mug or some other cool gift idea. Get him this Superman Super Dad t-shirt from just $10.74. Or how about this colourful Super Dad coffee mug for $15.16. These and other great Super Dad gift ideas are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, the annual Superman celebration took place across June 11th to June 14th in Metropolis, Illinois, and the Superman homepage once again held our meet and greet for members and fans to come together. Hosted by our Clark Kent and Lois Lane team of Jamie and Rhonda Kelly, the Superman homepage meet and greet was also videoed by our good friend Ken Sills. A huge apology to everyone who turned up regarding the prize situation this year. We were promised by our contact at Warner Brothers that we would be getting a box full of Superman Blu-rays and DVDs to give away, but I discovered too late that they never arrived. I was extremely disappointed, but I've been assured that they'll make it up to us next year. Thanks to Ken Sills, we have a whole series of videos from the events of the 2015 Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois, including the costume parade, 80s dance party, freestyle bikes, and much, much more. Be sure to check them out at our website now. Figures Toy Company announced this week that it has begun production on Series 3 of its retro Superman action figure line. Series 3 of these 8-inch action figures will consist of Superboy, Lex Luthor, Jonathan and Martha Kent. Each figure will be dressed in highly detailed cloth clothing with head sculpts done by Danny the Pharaoh Aniello. These figures will be available later in the year. A rare copy of Superman number 3 was stolen from the Happy Harbour comic store this past week, and store owner Jay Bardola is hoping fans can help return the comic book to him. Superman number 3 isn't a comic book you see too much of, so if you see it for sale online or in a pawn shop or somewhere else, contact Happy Harbour Comics via their website. If you missed this week's edition of our live Superman radio show, then you'll want to head back to our website to listen to the recorded version in which Michael Bailey and I interview How to Be a Superhero author Mark Edlitz. Check it out at supermanhomepage.com/live. That's all the news there was for the week June 12th to June 18th. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, and thanks for watching and tuning in to another episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Let's get to it. So, there's a new JLA comic book coming out. Now, there's already been a Justice League of America comic in the New 52, but I'm pretty sure it starred Martian Manhunter and then a cast of other lesser-known Justice League characters. And we also have a Justice League book that's in the 40s or something by now, and in the middle of the Darkseid War, which has consistently been one of the best books that Superman is involved with. That, along with Superman, Batman, and the Superman Wonder Woman book is pretty good as well. Most of Superman's solo titles have been kind of lackluster, some of it because the art and the artists, even though those art and artists are referred to with legendary status, have been not very good, in my opinion. And the stories haven't been all that great either. But here we have now another Justice League of America title, but this time, in the New 52, it's going to focus on the core 7 characters that were already established in the New 52 Justice League comic book. Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, and of course Superman. Now, this is good news, I guess. Any time we can get more stories about the world's greatest superhero team, the better, I say. Now, the only thing is right now it seems like the current Justice League book is going to keep going. We have solicits into September, which see the Darkseid War wrap up, I guess, and big surprises about how it's going to happen, and something about Superman being manipulated or under control again and has to face off against Lex Luthor. And now we're going to have a new Justice League of America title, and what's really cool about it is that Brian Hitch is both the artist and the writer, and he sounds really stoked. He sounds really excited, and who wouldn't be, to get to write about several of DC's greatest heroes roster, including the holy trinity of heroes, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, and then, of course, the others around them. And what he's saying now is he'd like to, and he has story ideas for all of this, do 7 story arcs that each focus on one of the core members so that they can take center stage and that they can be the focus while being supported by all the other members, because it is a Justice League book. It's not a book about each of the characters by themselves. And it seems like maybe Superman's at front and center in this first story, even though we have 7 different covers which are going to form, I guess, a large picture where all of the members of the Justice League appear to be fighting some sort of alien force. Though Hitch says this is not really indicative of the story that's going to happen inside. The story that happens inside is that a person, an individual, a character from Superman's past comes in contact with the League, and it causes all sorts of problems and all sorts of mayhem. We've seen the book be released now, and I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I myself haven't read it yet. This is a preliminary talk about the idea that there's going to be a new book. But I do like the fact that it's a person from Superman's past that kicks off this book, and it sounds like it has a lot to do with Krypton and Superman. I love the cover that has Superman front and center, and I love the cover with all of the images together. When you get all 7 of the covers and you put them together, it's a cool action scene. And Hitch says that anybody expecting to read this book and see a lot of panels and a lot of pages of people standing around talking is going to be disappointed, because it's an action book. It's definitely a widescreen format book. It's a big blockbuster book, and there's going to be great stuff happening. I've been very pleased with the Justice League book that we've already been getting, that's in the 40s now, that has the Darkseid War going on. So if we can get another book of that quality, and it has Superman involved to some degree, sometimes being the center, other times being one of the supporting players in someone else's story, and other times just being a collective ensemble with everybody else, I think it'll be great. The art looks really good so far, and having a guy on board who's really passionate about it, who says that they're going to have to pry the book out of his cold, dead hands, is another good bonus. You know, a lot of these high-profile creators get in charge of books, and then after 3 issues, you hear that there's a new team coming in. And the stories seem rushed, or don't seem finished, or seem like they're handed off to other people. Other times you see half the pages done by a person, 5 pages done by someone else, and the rest done by somebody else, and this always takes me out of the story. I'm interested to see how Brian Hitch is going to be able to handle the book completely by himself. But maybe that's what we need, a guy who's really passionate, who's working on both the story and the art at the same time, and who knows his own schedule, and who knows what stories he has in mind. And we'll see if he can stay on track. As far as I can tell, none of the other books have really been able to do that with consistency. But I'm very interested. I like the logo, and I'm looking forward to seeing this book. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky. 7 characters that were already established in the New 52 Justice League comic book. Cyborg, Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman. Cyborg, Aquaman, Flash, Wonder Woman. I always forget Batman. Green Lantern. Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Batman, and of course Superman. Can't